What's happening, y'all? Guess what? It's part two of the Systems Lab Live. We were in a two-part series for a new series that has been launched this month called Content Operations. If you were last week, we talked a lot about podcasting. We had our very first guest, which was Jonathan Jones, your podcast mentor. And then we talked about podcast workflows in real time using ClickUp. This week, we are talking about Agile content marketing, which is the secret behind Nike's content strategy. This is where all these brands that are building and growing and scaling and producing content at a very expert and high level, they are using what is called Agile content marketing. And why I want to bring this to your attention is because the way in which we are working, and when I mean working, I mean everything from the projects that we are managing and executing to the people that we're collaborating with and that we're hiring to the way in which we engage with one another, whether it's in person, hybrid, or remote, is rapidly changing. And it's actually happened pre-COVID, pre-Pandorama, but it's actually expedited. Technology, the way that we're communicating and working, has expedited. And because of that, I am on a mission. I'm on a mission to not only highlight the importance of project management in your business to help you as founders, as small business owners, as those that are listening right now and watching, you that are a part of a team inside of digital marketing in the tech space, for you to understand this important point of underscoring that the way that you manage your work, the way that you're collaborating, the way that you're executing these projects is important. Your strategy, it's not just, I got a task, boom, I'm just going to do it. If you are really looking for a way to streamline your business operations, you're looking a way to better communicate with your team members, you're looking to relieve yourself of the pressure of getting things done, my friends, you are going to need to adopt project management inside of your business. Also, if you're here for the very first time for the Systems Lab Live, I welcome you. I thank you for joining. If you're looking at the replay, thanks again for replaying and share with a couple of friends. I invite you to come here Mondays and Wednesdays so that you can really see and also implement what these processes are in your brand, your business, or your organization. So we talk a lot about many different things, but they all are in the wheelhouse of operations and project management. And also we talk about documentation too, as well. Now, glad you're here. What's happening with the week, y'all? Tell me what's going on. Anything interesting happening? Drop that information inside of the chat. Definitely want to hear about how the week has been. Any road bumps, things that you are facing. What's going on, Sandra? What else did I want to tell you guys about? Latest podcast is out today. This is called The Power of Team. The Power of Team. I'm excited about this because the power of team really breaks down this aspect of what's the system behind building a team. Like, we want to hire, we already have a team, we want to grow, but what does it really mean to lead a team, to cultivate a team, to manage a team? These are the questions I ask myself. These are the questions that I think a lot of us wonder about. Many people want to be successful at doing that. Many people have ideas about how things should be. And I would say that leading and managing teams is definitely not for the faint at heart. That it is certainly something that you have to take very seriously, your leadership, your vision for how you want to do it. So all this season, and I really just release podcasts per the season, per the creativity, what hits me, what I'm hearing, what I'm seeing. I actually go and pray about what it is that I am putting out there into the airwaves. But I wanted this season to be so intentional that I went and did some outreach, talked with some individuals, asked them, hey, this is the vision for my podcast season. I would like for you to be a part of it, and these are the reasons why. And I think that's really important that we set the tone for whatever it is that you are working on, whatever project that you're working on, you want to make sure that you set the tone. So the power of team really unpacks how are we leading, how are we cultivating, how are we developing uh, our team members, how are we developing ourselves, what does it mean to hire, what does it mean to have systems, what does it mean to have SOPs. And so you guys get the benefit of hearing these conversations that I'm having with leaders, and I've invited leaders with their team members. I think it's important that we start hearing from the people that are being hired by these leaders. So I'm super excited about that. This week we have one of my fellow alums from my college. Her name is Crystal Clark. She has a phenomenal leadership journey. She has some great insights when it comes to conflict resolution, performance, and feedback, and all of that hiring process. She is an entrepreneur and leadership development consultant. She also works in a higher education institution as well. And I want to highlight different types of leaders and different types of industries, because I believe that you can, just because someone works in higher ed doesn't mean that you can't pull pieces from conflict resolution to your team if you're an online business owner. I love it. Who else? We had Casey Handy Smith, C Handy Law, and we had her on with her online business manager, Quantel Lachey, and they talked about finding the right fit, the legal implications of hiring. We talked a whole lot about SOPs and systems and her hiring process. I think, I believe these are the conversations that we need to have more of. So that was the week before. And then we had Aisha Thomas, a dear friend of mine who we formed a friendship over in a different community. She's a military leader, close to 20 years of service in the Air Force. And she is a leadership development consultant, military leader, speaker, trainer, all those different things. And so she highlights, we talked a lot about communication and how are we communicating to our team members. I would listen to all three of those. And then, I kicked off the season talking about what does it mean to have leadership vision for the projects that you're leading in your business. So catch up. The link is in the bio, Conversations with Ask Ash, and definitely tune into the latest episode. Follow all of these types of things next week. In the next 2 episodes, we're going to have a great time. We have more people with more team members, and I'm very excited about that. I'm going to continue the season. I have a few more people that I want to interview, and it's just going to be great. All right, let's get on to the next segment of the show. We don't have the app of the week, folks. The app of the week, we did that on Monday. Make sure you go check out the replay for the secret behind Nike's content strategy. We talked about Scribe. Shout out to Quantel Latte for that gem. That is how you can literally create SOPs with screen captures. It's a dynamic tool. So make sure that you all are subscribing to and you sign up for Scribe. Is it scribe.how? Is that how it Scribe how is that? Let me put it up on the screen, y'all. I'm going to put it up on the screen. Doop, doop, doop. All right. I'm going to make a banner so that y'all can see it. Okay, I'm gonna oop, hold on. All right, the app of the week, scribehow.com. And again, when we're talking about, and this is the love of, what's happening right now, folks. Like, what, I think this is really important for us to know. Like, this is what's happening right now in terms of society, in terms of technology. We didn't have Scribe 2 years ago, right? We didn't have a lot of these SOP tools. There was Process Street, there was, I don't know, there's probably some other ones that were out there. But because of the increased need to actually have systems within organizations and teams, all of these apps have come out. I mean, ClickUp was not ClickUp of 2 years ago. They got 400 million in Series A funding. You got so many enhancements within different other PM tools. All of this because people are saying, I need to get organized and I need to have a way to make sure that I'm not all over the place and that my team is not all over the place so that we can become more efficient in the work that we're doing. And I always say this, I'm always going to say this. Even if you're a solopreneur, you need to tap into having a project management tool. Okay? A way for you to keep track of your work. It's just what it is. Right? It's 2022. You cannot pen and paper yourself out here in these streets and manage a virtual event or manage a course, right? By just having a little pen and paper and just talking about the tasks that you got to do. It's not as efficient. I'm okay with you doing a lean approach to your launching, right? You might need to DIY it. Maybe you have a budget that's not as big as you want it to be, whatever that is for you. So you got to make sure that your resources are being spent accordingly. And that's okay. So you may need to do that, but please invest in tools that are going to help you grow. Do that. You can even start off with ClickUp for free. And then I'm going to tell you, go ahead and upgrade for $5 a month. I'm going to tell you to do that right now so that you can get more features. So they just said this on Nikki and Moose's live show on YouTube. They talked a whole lot about making investments in your brand. And towards the end, the piece that I caught was them talking about what are the equipment upgrades, what are the softwares that you need to run your business. It all boils down to what's your process, and then what's the technology tool that you need to leverage that process. Right there, because I could go in for another 15 minutes and we got to get into uh, the agile content marketing, because we got a lot to talk about with that. We're probably going to go into OT a little bit. We're probably going to go in for a straight 45 minutes on this one. It's going to be good though. It's going to be real good. It's going to be real good. Let me stop some processing flow. All right. And stop this banner. Okay. Process and flow. Welcome to the segment of the show where we break all the way down. Okay. The process. All right. All right. So can we do a quick recap? Okay. And I'm just gonna, like I said, I'm just going to talk a little bit about these top 3 things that you see right here. Okay, great. People can see that. Okay, good. Cool. If you're joining me on Instagram, come on over to YouTube. Definition of agile. Oh, child, I don't even have no T up in here. Okay. Definition of agile is a project management approach developed as a more flexible and efficient way to get the product to the market. The word agile refers to the ability to move quickly and easily. Those of you that may remember that the definition of project management is it's the knowledge, the skills, the ability to bring forth an initiative, right? It's your knowledge, it's your skills, it's the technology, it's the tools. That's what project management is. Agile is a type of project management. It's meant to be more easily flexible. It's meant for efficiency as well. Agile marketing. This is what I'm leaning into, folks. Agile marketing, because A, content creation is fun, and two, I'm just really loving the concept of adopting agile content marketing as we are shifting in the space of the way that we work, the way that we're approaching how we're getting our projects done. And people are begging for it. People are wanting it. Companies are wanting it. Organizations. Essentially, how much is this going to cost? How fast can you do it? And people want to deliver what the customer needs in the shortest amount of time possible, but with the actual quality. The quality, okay? The quality has to be there. So I want to talk about agile content marketing and some of the elements. So it's about time, so it's about speed. It's also about the team. It's about who you need and assigning the people and pulling the team members, excuse me, that are critical to your particular initiative that you are looking to execute on. The process, which is the roles and the responsibilities, the actual task at hand, like outlining the actual function and what people are responsible for, and then the content strategy. Now, the benefits of agile is that you use a lot of data. Okay. I want to underscore the data point, because in traditional marketing, this is what we're doing. I've done it, right? In traditional marketing, you're doing things like, I have an idea to post on Instagram. I'm going to create the title. I'm going to create the caption. I'm going to create the graphic. I'm going to create the copy. I'm going to create or find my hashtags. I'm going to post. Then I'm going to measure my content. Very sequential, very phase by phased approach. But agile marketing says, are you really delivering the value to your customer, client, or tribe in the manner that you need it? This is about having a this is about having a more rapid way of creating content. This is about efficiency, productivity. Okay? Agile content marketing process unlocks more than speed, productivity, and efficiency. Okay? Unlocks more. Here are some of the values, and we're actually going to go over some of these values so that you can completely understand. I'm going to stop sharing, and we're going to go over some of the agile marketing manifesto. Okay? Whew, I love it. To keep up with the speed and complexity of marketing today, we are adopting new ways of working. Listen, let me make sure y'all can see this, and let me just go in for a little bit, because I just want to make sure y'all can see that. Ooh, hold on. Okay. Just want to make sure y'all can see the screen. Okay, looks good. All right. To keep up with the speed and complexity of marketing today, we are adopting new ways of working. Okay, let me pull something up. because somebody had a really good post. Hold on. I think it was, I'm gonna pull it up because I think we need to make sure that we understand and underscore this point. Okay. Let me read this post. Let me read it. What was it? Man. Um, oh, okay. Boom. This is good. So, okay, this is a post by Kurt the Connector. We're just gonna stay on this for a minute, but I want you to keep that first sentence in mind. What's up, Marshall? Okay, to keep up with the speed and complexity of marketing today, we are adopting new ways of working. The speed and the complexity of marketing. All right. There are 1.39 billion people on Instagram. Users spend an average of 30 minutes a day on Instagram. More than 40 billion images have been shared on Instagram. Over 500 images are shared daily. So I love this point of what he's talking about. Now, the actual underscoring of the messages, there's a lot of noise out here in social media. Quieting the noise is so important. Focus on staying true. But I want to focus on the stats. More than 40 billion images have been shared on Instagram. So why agile content marketing, why Nike, why Google, PayPal, big brands are adopting agile content marketing is because of the speed and the complexity of what's being shared on the internet. So the first of the agile manifesto, marketing manifesto, is focus on customer value and business outcomes over activity and outputs. Delivering value early and often over waiting for perfection. Learning through the experiments and data over opinions and conventions. We're going to go through this piece by piece. Cross-functional collaboration over silos and hierarchies, and responding to change over following a static plan. So we're going to go over the first one, maybe the second one, but let's go over the first one. Focusing on customer value and business outcomes over activity and outputs. Remember, agile means flexibility and it's efficiency and there's speed. But again, as we said in the beginning, it's more than just the speed, it's more than just the productivity, it's more than just the efficiency, right? You can sit there and put a whole bunch of content out and it's just like, ugh. It just roof. It just doesn't go anywhere. But just because you put something out with speed doesn't mean the content's good, right? But if you put a strategy in place, you have the right team in place with the right skill sets, plus you're adopting this whole, manifesto right here, you're going to be able to see over time how your data is performing, which I love because, and let me make sure I make this clear, agile marketing doesn't wait till like the end of the week for the data. They're measuring. They have tools in place. We talked about content operations is about the people, the technology, and the process. So there's an investment piece with the technology. Okay, let's go to the first one. Focus on customer value and business outcomes over activities and outputs. So what this is saying is, and let me just go in just a little bit more so y'all can see this more easily. We prioritize customer and business needs. When we prioritize customer and business needs, we create more targeted and relative marketing programs. In other words, creating the right things versus more things. It's easy to fall into the trap of doing marketing activities just to do them with our value number one. We really hone in and what will provide the most value to our customers and how that can impact the business downstream. Ooh, this is so important. Is this not important? So what they're saying is this. Okay, I just want to make sure that's focused. What they're saying is this. You can, again, put out 20 pieces of content, but if you don't have a strategy in place, it's not going to go anywhere. Agile content marketing focuses on the right things versus producing more things. It's about the value of the customer and the business need. If we are to apply this in real time for those that are newer to this world, whether you have a small team or you're looking to build a team, whatever it is, then you need to think about, what's my content strategy? What's going to deliver the value to the customer? And how does my content serve the business need? This is good, y'all. This is good. All right, let's put a pulse check. Let's do a pulse check. How many of y'all are following me? Put a 1 in the chat. Does anyone have any questions so far? Let's put the questions in the chat. We got to underscore this point. Focusing on customer value and business outcomes over activities and outputs. This is good. Shout out to Ali Perry. Okay. This is good. Let me go back. Because I said we were just going to do 1. We'll go with 2, and then we'll stop, and then we'll pick that up on Monday. And then we'll go into who's involved in an Agile team, and we're going to go over an example. Okay. Delivering value early and often, and over waiting for perfection. How many of us, this will be good for the people who are perfectionists, who feel like they have to get it right. Agile does not subscribe to the fact that you have to have perfect content. Okay, this is good, y'all. Rather than waiting for everything to be perfect, we begin delivering value to our customers early in the cycle. We continue to deliver value based on our learnings from our previous program and so on. Deliver it from our learnings and previous program. It's the data. It's the data. A key part of Agile content marketing is about the data, seeing how the data performs. So if you have Instagram Reels, and let's say you put out, 2 a day, maybe you're going to test it and say, I'm going to put 2 a day for the next 3 days. You can go ahead and see what the value is in terms of the data from observing the analytics every 24 hours, and then seeing what adjustments need to be made. That's just one example. Again, bare bones, but I just want to conceptualize this to you so that you kind of understand. All right, the second part. When we wait for perfection, when we wait for perfect, we remove the chances to learn from our customers so that we can deliver more value later on. Instead, striving for perfection leads to long production cycles and a big bang approach. So we are hurting ourselves by doing what? Let's highlight it here. We're hurting ourselves because when we wait for perfect, we remove the chances to learn from our customers so we can deliver more value later on, which means that as you are posting and you're seeing the value that your customers, your clients, your tribe are adding to it, that means that you can make the adjustments. But if you wait to have that perfect Instagram carousel, that perfect blog post, that perfect YouTube video, you're robbing them or robbing yourself of being able to deliver value. That means that the longer you wait, the longer that you are mulling over how you're going to do certain things, you're leaving your customers out in the cold. They're waiting on that content. So you need to release it. I love that. You need to release it. It's important, y'all. This is good. This is good. All right. I'm going to, again, I'm going to share. And let's go over here, y'all, because I do want to get into how do you begin to do this work? How do you begin to do it? So we talked about what project management is. Then we talked about Agile as a type of project management, and then within that is a subset of different Agile techniques, methodologies. Scrum is one of them. And the Scrum concept revolves around an iterative and incremental delivery. What does that mean, Ashley? I'm really glad that you asked that. So iterative, incremental, it's not necessarily like a phased approach, but essentially it's like this. It's like this. It's what's a good example? Iterative. Okay, making sure I'm saying that right. But it's basically like I'm going to bake a cake and I'm just going to figure it out. And you're just going to literally grab the ingredients as you go and just start to deliver. Just start going, right? You have some of the script, but you don't have all of it. Someone tells you, okay, I want you to bake me a German chocolate cake. But I'm looking for the recipe, but in the meantime, let's just start. So you're gonna get your chocolate, your milk, whatever it is you need, and you're just gonna start making the cake. And then you start getting the requirements for that, and then you just start building that out. So iterative. It's just incremental. It's step by step. It's beat by beat. All right. So another key part of this is this. I want to make sure because I want to make sure we also get the right understanding of iterative and incremental. Okay. So essentially, you are making sure that you are refining as you go. Okay. Meaning that you can have some of the requirements, but you don't have all of it. But you can still build as you go until the product is delivered. Apple does this. They use a Scrum approach. Now, one thing that you should know too is that teams work in sprints, in which they set periods of time which they aim to complete a set amount of work. So this is how it's connected. You have an initiative, and maybe it's this is good. There is a book launch. Okay, we'll use that. Book launch, maybe a course launch, whichever one. It's a launch. And you need to promote the book. Okay? So sprints are usually in like 7 or 10 or 14 days. And so it's a set period of time, and then you have basically buckets of work that the team is going to work on and produce. Like, it's not, like I said, this is not like an assembly line where you're sitting there saying, all right, we have this piece, I'm going to work on it, and then we're going to move and hand it off to the next person. That's not how this works. Let me break that part down. Okay, cool. I want to talk a little bit about who's on the team. Oh, wait a minute. Let me go over here. Hold on. Let me go over here. Okay. So I want to go into the five-step process and how you can help your marketing team implement agile practices quickly. So step 1 is you organize an agile team. You set measurable goals and objectives, create and prioritize a backlog. The backlog is literally the list of tasks, the list of work that you have to get done. Work in iterations or sprints. Again, working in small chunks of time to get the work done. Measure progress and focus on continuous improvement. Okay? So this is how, again, this is how teams are adapting, are adopting agile practices. All right. So, okay, we'll review that in a minute. Okay, hold on. So here's an example of a content marketing team. You have someone who's leading out SEO, social media, sales, product marketing team, the actual product itself. And again, this is more so on a very larger scale, right? So I want to make sure that you guys kind of understand that. These are for some bigger companies. They have a product marketing team which focuses on the product, the SEO, we know SEO's websites and all of that, social media team, we know what that is, enterprise marketing team. This is like the overarching of the entire marketing team for across departments and across the products. And then the sales team, because there'll absolutely be objectives, goals, KPIs, and things that are going to be measured. How does that sound, folks? How does that sound? Sound good so far? And I just want to connect this to you because again, these are what bigger brands are doing. They have these teams, they're assembling these teams. So here's another aspect, right? And this could be for your brand, this could be for an organization, but let's say you have like a lean team, right? You could have maybe 2 to 3 people, a marketing strategist, a graphic designer, a copywriter, a content marketer, SEO expert, a web developer, a PPC expert, anyone else that's needed to deliver the entire project without resorting to external teams or contractors. And again, when we're talking about our corporations, these are the type of people that they are looking for on their teams. But let's put this into practical online business spaces, because again, agile, it's flexible, and I believe that you can apply certain aspects of it. You don't have to do the whole thing, or you can just again adjust as needed. So for me, for instance, what would be cool if I'm thinking about the ultimate content creation team for me as someone that's in the productivity project management space, I'm definitely going to want a graphic designer. I'm going to need a marketing strategist, a copywriter for sure. Right. And I would definitely love to run some agile content marketing just to go in and just to see what that's like. I think that would be fun. Right. Just listing out, what we have going on. And yeah, I think that would be exciting. I personally think I need a creative director. I feel like someone who is a content creator, but also knows that I have caps, like a little bit of a cap on my creativity. Like I would love to partner up with a creative director that could help with all of the processy and project managey and systemy like language, and like turn some cool stuff out. So anyway, these are the type of people, right, that are on these teams. These are the types. Okay. Okay, we talked about that. Let's mosey on down to Scrum, shall we? Okay. Let's mosey on down, folks, to Scrum. Okay, so I got this from the Content Marketing Institute. Shout out to them. I know they use some agile content marketing because they pump out articles and posts and all that like clockwork. Okay, So an example is our content marketing Scrum development team pulls the product backlog items into a sprint backlog to execute in the new sprint. So remember, Scrum, iterative and incremental. They're going to have a 14-day sprint, for example, and they are looking to execute a series of blog posts on a particular topic. Okay? Who's with me? What up, Trent? So, here are some examples of the backlog items. These are literally the tasks that will be assigned to who? These individuals that we have right here, the people that we just underscored right here. These are the folks that are going to carry out these tasks. Cool? So let's read them. Decide the topic for the blog post. Research the topic. Research keywords for the blog post. Write the blog post. Create the visuals. Proofread the blog post. Publish. Set up a social media sharing schedule. Create visuals for social media. Work out a strategy to link building. Research possible websites and owners. Write out outreach emails. Start an outreach campaign. Remember, this is not done in sequential order. This is done, again, in an iterative fashion where you have individuals that are assigned these topics and they're literally working on these at the same time. In our next Systems Lab Live, we're going to look at the visual component of this so that you guys can really be able to see what this looks like in real time. Right? So let me give an example. The social media strategist does not have to wait to start creating the social media sharing schedule. That could be in something that they work on right now while somebody is researching the topic, and another person could be researching keywords, and someone else could actually start developing the strategy for the outreach campaign. Because once you get into a Scrum team like this, you already know, like the Scrum Master is already going to give you the outline. Here's the initiative. Here's what we're going to be working on for the next 14 days. So again, you're going to be able to see, and we're going to do this on Monday, we're going to see a visual example of how this actually is going to play out. Taking any questions. I'm telling you, this is fascinating stuff. If you can imagine, I mean, these are what some of the big brands are doing. These are what the big brands are doing right now. This is a type of content that they are producing. This is how they're organizing themselves. Agile is all about the team and the collaboration. No man is on an island by itself. Something that they also do, Agile teams, and I always endorse it. And I didn't realize this until, well, I kind of realized this until I was implementing this in another environment, is having daily meetups, which is essentially you are meeting every day to talk about the progress of what was done the day before. So if you have a certain number of blog posts that you're working on, that means on day one, or that means on day two, you're reporting on what happened on day one. And then the Scrum Master, which is essentially like the PM, the person who is overseeing everything, they are making sure that the backlog, which is all of these items that you see here with all these little emojis in front of them, that they are getting done. They know the status. Those meetings are to help you remove roadblocks and see if anyone needs any additional, strategy, advice, what have you. Yeah. Daily scrums. And then after that it's said and done, there's something called a sprint retrospective. Now, what's cool about that is sprint retrospectives really help to focus on what went well, what didn't go well, and figure out if we do this again, how are we going to be able to make it better? What's cool about Agile too, as well, is that there's a high amount of transparency. You are not going to be out here in these streets trying to hide what you're doing or try not to be collaborative or whatever. It ain't happening, right? It ain't happening. That is Scrum. That is Scrum. So I want to introduce to you another methodology. This other methodology is called Kanban. Okay. This is a Japanese word meaning visual board. Visual board. So Kanban was developed in the 1950s. First developed and applied by Toyota as a scheduling system for just-in-time manufacturing, meaning that, this was a way for Toyota to produce the cars. And let's see, on the other hand, the capitalized during Kanban is known and associated with the emergence of the Kanban method, which was first defined in 2007. 2007. All right. So again, this aspect of the Kanban visual board, 1950s, Toyota introduced just-in-time manufacturing to its production. The approach represents a pull system. This means that production is based on a customer demand rather than the standard push practice to produce goods and push them to the market. All right. So that's Kanban is about, we need to deliver our value in such a way where we focus on the customer and the client value, and we're efficient. We are efficient. So Kanban is about visualizing and limiting the work in progress, which in ClickUp, it's to visually indicate when there's too much work in a status. Like I said, Monday, we're going to put this into practice. I will be building out a Kanban Agile marketing board. Very excited about that. And we're going to do some show and tell. And we're going to have some examples. So it's going to be super good. Super good. Questions, comments, concerns. Please let me know. Any questions, you guys will let me know. But again, this is, it's really important that we are learning about what's happening. Let me type this in the chat. All right. Questions, drop them in the chat. Okay. So this is what we have here. So today we went over the Agile Manifesto. We went over, what is Agile? What are the core elements? What's the benefit of using the content? We talked about Scrum and Kanban and the first two Agile principles of the Agile Manifesto. Woo! We went in, folks. We went in. But, again, I can't underscore even more the importance of us understanding. Hold on. Is my mic? Okay, hold on. Okay. Boom. But we can't underscore the importance and the trends of what's happening within organizations and businesses and brands and where technology is taking us. So I'm excited to do more with Agile content marketing. to talk more about content operations. This, my friends, is super important for us to understand what Nike's doing, what PayPal is doing, what Gary Vee and everybody else is doing, because thank you so much. Thank you so much. It's back. Thank you so much. So that's what's so important to do that. What's up, Aaron? Thank you. Thank you so much, DJ D-Dub, for supporting. Make sure that you subscribe to the YouTube channel so that you can get all the notifications of when I go live on Mondays and Wednesdays. So that's all I have for you all tonight. Also want to make sure that you guys know too, because I will often get this question: how does one work with Ashley the Schuler? How do you work with me? You can certainly go to ashleyschuler.com to learn more information about my VIP day, to learn more about me and what I do and how I do what I do. And yeah, I have VIP day openings in June, which I'm very excited about. This is to set up and streamline your business through ClickUp. That's setting up your projects, that's making sure that you are organized so that you can work efficient. So that's all I have for you all today. I'll see you guys on Monday. And that's it. Thank you all so much. You all are the best, the best. And we'll talk soon. Thank you guys for tuning in. Bye.